that is wandering around.
Y'all be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all ran Anna off and then y'all don't even worry about it.
I figured she had to do something.
Anyway, this right here is the most complicated, if not the worst relationship I've ever heard of.
Met my girlfriend on Tinder, and we weren't exclusive to begin with. We get along great, and I thought that we had a future. She got pregnant, and we were kind of excited to start a family. When the baby was born, it was very obviously not mine. I did not sign the birth certificates. I also didn't break up with her, but I also told her that I would not be making myself financially responsible for the baby. We had planned for her to take a year off work to be with the baby. She had already taken her maternity leave. I said that she needed to go after the father for child support. She didn't want to because they were friends. I said I understood, but in that case, she had to take full financial responsibility for the kid. I would help her with all the child rearing, like changing diapers and feelings and all the like, but not pay for any of it. She agreed. She ran through her savings in about 6 months. She talked to me about helping her with baby formula and stuff, and I said no, that's not our agreement. She called the baby daddy and asked for money, and he gave her a few $1,000s to pay for baby stuff, but told her not to contact him again. That's when she really understood their friendship. So she went after him for child support. His fiancée found out about the whole thing and is thinking of breaking things off. The child support is enough that the baby will be well taken care of and it won't affect the finances. He called her crying because we messed up his life. He said that I could easily afford to take care of them and that I'm the bad guy for dragging his life through the mud. She feels terrible about it and blames me for not just stepping up. I love my girlfriend and the baby, and I have no problem raising the baby. But I don't think that I should be held financially responsible when the father has resources and tried to evade responsibility. So, am I the bad guy?
What the
You
bleep
the
is wrong with
smartest
people?
dumbass I've ever seen in my life.
What the heck? What?
Just, just so smart, you're stupid.
Oh my gosh. I can't with these people. This has got to be. This isn't real. Wait a minute. Is
No,
there
it ain't
more?
no second
Is
part.
there more? Because
There's not more.
it
There's
hasn't
not
been
more.
one in a while. I'm like, is there
I
more?
know there's not. For some reason, the ones that the guy that comes on is called the best of, and that's always when you get the update immediately after the story. Not been very good lately, so I haven't been able to get any good ones. But anyway, with this one, y'all go ahead.
He
I got my.
told her she stayed with this man. She should have dumped both of them, the friend and the man. Girl, get you
Wait a minute,
somebody
this is
else.
the problem you have,
No,
Tracy?
she stayed. I'm not gonna help with the. I'm not gonna help take care of the baby. I'm just gonna be in
Hell
the baby's.
no.
I'm just gonna change the baby's diaper, be in the child's life, but finance, that's not my
Hell
responsibility.
no.
What?
Hell no.
I did.
Because Tracy,
That's
here's what happened. Tracy, here's what happened. Because this is why I say he was smart, but he's still a dumbass. Because he should have exited the situation.
now that part I agree.
The part that he's smart about is because in America, if this thing goes to court, he can become liable for that child, even though it's clear it's not his, because he has taken on the role of provider and father. So that's why he's doing it, because he could be locked into this is a girlfriend. You know, I already know how I feel about girlfriend, but this is a girlfriend. She could dump him 2 months from now, and he will still have an 18 to 20-year commitment to a child he did not make. So he's
Well, that's
smart on
unfair.
that part. It is unfair, but the courts will say this is about the best interests of the
Okay.
child.
Yep.
So the best interest of the child is that the child not be destitute. So the first place she's supposed to go is the biological father. However, you have someone who's in the household who has taken on the role. So the court will attach first to the one who is in the household over the one who is biologically responsible because you've already assumed responsibility. he was already trying to walk a tightrope anyway.
He should have just left.
'Cause
He would have been
he
better
should
off
have.
living for her. Because she stayed with him. I wish I would. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm still tripping off. You always take the woman's side. She stayed with him.
You do.
And why wouldn't I?
Really
And
do.
the problem is what?
Because you don't care if they're right or wrong. You worse. It's interesting, Tracy.
Okay, here we go.
What'd you say, Anna? Anna said something I didn't hear.
I said because sometimes women fuck up.
Yeah.
I didn't say she didn't make a mistake. All I'm saying was, as soon as the words came out of his mouth, I'm not financially taking care of you. Bye. It was kind of like, what if I wanted to?
And
Nah,
that's
bye.
right.
Good riddance.
Why didn't she break up with him?
She should have. She should have broke up with him. That's my problem.
I'm answering your
No, I'm talking about
all of this. Every person in this story is an a-hole.
True. Now that part I agree with you.
No.
There is not one over the other.
She is. They weren't exclusive.
No, I'm gonna go all the way down.
I agree with Warren on that one.
I'm gonna go all the way down to every person in this story is an a-hole. Number one, let's go with the friend. Off the bat, dude, you pay child support. We ain't gonna go with this whole paying thousands of dollars and don't bring it up anymore because you automatically thought to yourself that I'm gonna move on with my life and pretend that I do not have a child out there that I helped create. So I can marry, live well, and go on with my life. That ain't how life works, dude. Get over yourself. Number two, and I'm still talking to the friend. Your fiance is thinking about leaving you because they found out that you pay child support. No, bro, your fiance is thinking about leaving you because you hid this part of your life from her.
True.
And that is effed up, and she can't trust you because, as always, if you're hiding this, you're hiding more things. It may not be true that you're hiding more things, but in her mind, if you're willing to hide another human being that you helped create, what else are you hiding? You're the a-hole. Let's move on to the mom. Trying to find a title for the mom.
You done skipped the whole portion, Marlon.
What whole portion?
They were exclusive.
What whole portion?
They did this whole friends with benefits thing. I'm like, that's where y'all messed up in the first place.
Hey,
but
what?
none of them were exclusive. So
no, they weren't inclusive.
Right.
Number two, let's move on to the baby mama. Baby mama, your first and foremost, your whole mission, your whole goal, your whole thing that you do from this point on, since having the baby, is what's best for the child. F your friendship. What the hell was you thinking? Because clearly, was you still thinking about being friends with a person who gave you $1,000 and said beat it? Did it take that point? Obviously, yes. Because this is what it sounds like to me. This is literally what it sounds like to me. That the guy never thought about doing jack squat with you until you asked him. It took you asking, can you give me some money to help take care of your child that you helped create? Here's $1,000. Talk to you later. That's when you figure out the equivalent of being friends. No, we ain't got to worry about that.
I don't care if it was $2 million.
It should take you asking.
I don't know. 2 million might. I'll walk off with 2 million.
I don't know about
No.
2 million. Yeah, you,
Me and the baby gonna be just fine.
It costs to raise children?
Not 2
I
million.
do. I will skip off with 2 million.
I would jet for 2 mil.
Well, y'all gotta pray because I'm like, I don't care how much money it is.
I would change that child first name. But anyway, the point is, so, mama, you the a-hole. You put your friendship in quotations over the welfare of your child. Boyfriend, using that term really loosely.
I thought we had a future.
You had every right whatsoever to say what you said. I am not financially responsible for this child. Theus has told you that the courts is going to see that absolutely different. So, my question to you, and I hate to be this very rough with what I'm going to say right here, but I can't think of no better way of saying it. Dude, how good was the sense that you decided that you was going to stick with a girl who you figured out that that child wasn't yours, but you're going to stick with her, but you ain't going to pay nothing?
He probably had no other cookie.
Exactly. Sorry. But
his first piece of cookie. He didn't know what to do with himself.
Doesn't make any sense whatsoever what you just did. It literally, beyond a shadow of a doubt, makes absolutely no sense at all. And I wrote down something that you said, boyfriend, that was hilariously funny. That after the friend, is there a reason why we looking at Tracy's crotch? What is going on?
No, I let the computer down. Sorry. I'm still here.
That's better.
I mean, yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
So the part that you said, and I made sure that I write it down so I wouldn't forget it. So now the baby daddy is paying it where it wouldn't affect our finances. Who the hell is our? Did you not just say you wasn't paying for Jack Squad?
Yeah, he just said that. Make up your mind.
No, that's not what he said. Not what he said.
What did he say?
Anna, you're muted, I think.
Oh, she was just...
The baby. He said he was not going to give any money to the baby's care. He didn't say he was going to stop putting into the house.
Yep.
But the baby lives in the house.
Yes, and if you think about this in a purely...
Wait a minute. But if you said that it affected our finances...
Yes.
Y'all ain't exclusive in the first place.
Put money into the household all you want to. So that's totally two different things. Putting money in the household and putting money in the baby is two different things. It is not our finances. So you don't need to be talking about he's paying enough child support so it doesn't affect our finances.
No, it makes sense, Marlon. Marlon, it makes sense. Here's how it makes sense. Okay? Now, on a practical level, it doesn't make sense because it's stupid. Okay? But on a pure lines of reasoning, here's how it makes sense. We had an open relationship. You got pregnant with another party. I will not hold that against you because I can't. You did cheat on me. It was a consequence of decisions you made. Wish you had made different decisions, but it's a decision you made. And I still care for you. I still want to see where this thing is going. And we maybe now we need to actually be exclusive so we can eliminate all this other craziness. But you are the one who made the decision that ended up with you being pregnant. So you address that. That means you are responsible for all financial aspects of your decision. What I will continue to do is be a good boyfriend and be a good person. That means I'm still helping on the rent. I'm still helping on the bills, still helping on the groceries. Everything I was doing before, I will continue to do.
And if the baby needs food,
and I'll help you with the kid as far as interpersonal things. But financially, I do not want to be saddled with that risk, so you need to manage that. What we don't know, which is part of this whole equation, was with her being strained on that level, he may have picked up some more level of financial responsibility outside of what was designated for the child. So when she gets child support, it brings her back to a level to where she's now able to to help on a more equal level. So I'm saying, if you're really just looking at it like writing on a chalkboard, it makes sense. But there's no way that you can manage long term with that weird construct. It just can't hold up, right? Hey, we were going to the park, but Billy said he wanted ice cream, and I told him I couldn't do it because the mama didn't give me any money. You really gonna do that, dog? No. What you gonna do is you're gonna buy Billy some damn ice cream. So it's like in your brain you're doing this because what you're trying to do is you're trying to force a weird situation into something else.
Yeah, you're not gonna be financially responsible. You mean to tell me if that baby don't got formula and you got the money? Oh no, not formula. No, sure not. No, you. I have zero children, and I would never do
Wells, welcome. We appreciate you.
Hello. Hello.
Watch.
But the point he's making is that
a wake up call for America. Sorry, I just want to welcome.
No, but the point he's making is, do not make this my responsibility. So there may be times that he buys some formula. There may be times he buys a kid a little cute outfit because he saw it when he went to the store. But what he does not want to have happen is he is now viewed as a financial custodian of this child. And the only way to avoid that is for the biological to be the parent of record paying child support. That's the only way he can avoid it.
But didn't you just say if they went to court and the girlfriend and the boyfriend is living together, they're gonna take his income and he can say, well, he's living in the house, so I don't have to pay that much.
That's only if she's not getting child support.
Yeah.
The fact that she did ultimately get child support has established who the biological and custodial father is.
But if she marries him, couldn't the douchebag dad take her back to court?
Absolutely not. And Tracy, I see where you're getting confused at. So here's this deal. We're going to look at the a-holery instead of fair practices, okay? Let's say that the girlfriend decides to take this friendship a little further.
Yeah, and they get married.
Let's say she decides, I'm just not willing to go after him for child support. Now, let's just take the a-holery one step further and go, but the boyfriend that lives with me, who I figure has more money than anything that I can get from the friend anyway, I'm going to take child support out on him. Now, you would think, oh, no, wait a minute. We got the biological child. After a certain amount of time, they're going to combine financial and stability for that child.
That's messed up.
We got two things now. We're not going by financial or responsibility. Let me take that back. And responsibility. Responsibility, financial, and stability. Who has the financial? If the boyfriend makes more money, she can go after him. And that's what the court's going to take into account. Stability. Who do the child really knows? The biological dad or the boyfriend who's been staying in that house all this time? The responsibility. Who's been doing the most responsible thing? And listen to what I'm saying before. Listen to how I'm saying this. Who is responsible? It takes no more than I would do everything else, like change diapers, feed the child, things like take the baby out for a walk. In other words, you've taken responsibility of the care for this child. That negates biological tenfold.
And the only way to avoid it is for the the biological, for him to be on child support. Because you need something that says, I am taking responsibility for this child.
Well, let's just say
right?
if he did, I'm putting in stuff that don't happen.
No,
If
you.
the two of them get married, because what I'm thinking I'm hearing y'all saying,
Yep.
it's not making a lot of sense to me. If the two of them get married, the biological dad couldn't say, "Hey, I don't have to pay child support because he's
Absolutely
assuming
not.
responsibility."
Absolutely not.
What?
He's already
Okay.
on it. His
Because
responsibility to his
here's the thing.
child never ended.
Because
Okay, I got that part.
you're looking at finance and not responsibility.
No, I get the responsibility part, but I'm just talking about he couldn't, because I've heard of some cases where the biological dad has taken the mom back to court and said, "Well, she got married, so I shouldn't have to pay you."
Yeah, I'm sure
Where
it
it
has.
can happen, where it can happen is one, if he signs over his rights and the
Right.
other father adopts, or if he signs over his rights and the mom just takes full period and lets him off. That's one way. Another way is if his income is lower than her income to such a degree that it ain't gonna much matter. Maybe then he can get off. But that other spouse, their money is in no way encumbered by that relationship. So that other spouse could make $1 million a year.
And the other dad still got to pay child support, which makes
Other
sense
because
because
it's still his kid.
Yeah.
it's still
Now
your
there are
child.
courts who might say, there are courts who may actually say, you know what, the gap is so huge here,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
but you will be stripped of your rights.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the strip of your rights, but I have heard where the wage gap is so huge between, and I'm going by Tracy's story, if they get married, and the wage gap is so huge. You married to a millionaire, and the guy, the biological father, is a manager at McDonald's. So it's like, even though, yeah, I get it. Now, granted, we got to remember, this is America. What I'm going to tell you is so few and far between, but it has happened where the courts can look at it as, dude, your money is not going to do absolutely nothing
Yeah, that's
for
what I'm thinking.
the,
He would have to make
the,
sure.
If I was the judge in that scenario, I would still have you paying child support. What I would do though is I would order the child support to go into a custodial account so that that money is being set aside for whatever that future purpose is,
oh
because
no,
it's not needed for his
I would
living
stop the child
expenses now.
support.
And
I
the
would
reason I say this, the reason I say this is because yes, the mother has married up, or the mother has exploded her own income
Yeah, like
to
she
the
get a
point,
humongous raise, or she
right?
go to med school, or she
She could
starts.
be a she could have been studying to be a doctor, and now she's a surgeon, right? Anything, whatever the reason, right? But that child, right, is living off of her money or the new family's money. I get that. But that family could get divorced.
That's
She could
true.
lose her job. There's so many things that could still happen, and that child is still part of your responsibility. So I'm sorry that 20% of your income is $500 a month, but you still, maybe we can work you down some. Maybe instead of paying 20% and she agrees to it, we bring it down to 10%. I don't know,
yeah,
Yeah,
but
you should pay
I
there's
don't
something.
think it's
Yeah,
going to end.
you
I literally don't think it's going to end child support. I just thought it would lower it. Like,
because
Your
I
Honor,
have heard
you
of
do
fathers
understand
taking.
that my income is not going to have any effect on this child's welfare whatsoever. But I don't.
yeah. I
But at
mean,
the same time, I have to
Britney
be
Spears
honest.
had a kid with a backup dancer. So I mean, come on.
Yeah, I would never sit here and say, okay, well, you married into a rich family, so you don't have to pay any child support, because I'm true to the belief that um, still your child. Are you willing to
Yeah,
sign off on your parental rights? No, you can't have it both ways. You can't keep your
but
parental rights and not pay for it. So,
but.
Him or her. Yep. Yeah. But, 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 yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I would say, we're dealing with extreme outliers for the examples that we're talking about right now. And then also, I do recoil at the concept that your rights to your child is tied to money. I do recoil at that. I don't
Oh well,
like
yeah,
that,
that's horrible.
right? So, because that'd be like if you're unemployed during the time that you're unemployed, do you now lose access to your child?
No,
You're behind in child support. Do
no,
you now lose access to your child? So
no.
it's like that has to be decoupled. But the fact that you are this child's biological, you should be helping for that child's welfare. Now, I imagine if we get into the scenarios we're talking about where it's so exploded, then maybe they would let you off for the financial piece. I don't know. But I would say in that case, it needs to not maybe go to the parent and it should be set aside for the child, and the child do whatever the hell they want to with it when they get to be grown. I
No,
mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you
was
can't
I was
just
more or
tack
less
visitation to
saying to
child support.
myself,
That's tacky.
yeah, I because this has been so toxic in, and I'm sorry, but I have to admit this is more of a male dominated issue than female dominated issue. That yeah, that there is a connection between income and visitation with your child. It shouldn't be. It's not. It is no way, shape, or form law of any way, shape, or form. Men have rights to be with their child on a
Absolutely.
very decent amount of time. And I say decent. None of what I'm saying is connected to finance. Now, I don't know what the situation is that you're behind on child support. Not my thing to say, because it could be
Well, for
something
one thing, it could be
terrible.
too aggressive.
Yeah, it could be something terrible. It could be you lost your job. It could be absolutely anything. But the finances and your right to be in your child's life is totally two different things. If
Yeah.
you actually put in, she took out child support, which she has every right to do, and it's the right thing to do. But men, you also need to put in there visitation rights too, at the exact same time. At the exact
Yeah.
same time, in the front
I
of that exact same judge.
I have long held to this particular opinion, and it's an unfortunate opinion, and I get it, but this is my opinion, and I've had this since I was in high school. Men, you need to take your bloodline and your name more seriously. You need to value who you are and what you have to offer this world more than a good time. If you would do that, you would take better care of who could possibly get pregnant from having sex with you. This is not to exonerate the woman or whatever. I don't give a damn about her. I'm talking about you, fellas. You should love yourself and your bloodline and your name enough to protect it. Now, you chose not to. You and her engaged in consensual sex. A baby came out of this situation. Now you need to step up. But if you remember from way back, I always talk about each decision changes the options that you get to choose from as you move along. Best way to protect your rights, fellas, is one, don't have a child before you're ready to have a child. That's one. But things happen. Two, marry her. Hear me out. Why are you having sex with someone that you wouldn't want to be with long term anyway? Because once that baby comes, you stuck with her ass anyway. One way or another, you stuck with her. So think ahead, plan ahead. But I say marry her because that protects your rights to that child. It is a hard thing to get your rights taken away from you when you were married to her before that baby was born. Just letting you guys, I'm just putting you in on game, fellas. All right. Now you choose not to do that. Cool. Because I'm not saying marry somebody you ain't supposed to be with. But now your options change. Now you don't have that level of protection. You got to go through the court system to protect your rights, homie. So now you got to deal with those options. It's going to be supervised visitation. It's going to be weekend visitation. It's going to be some weirdness that the court is going to impose upon you. But these are the selected options that you have now made available to yourself. And ladies, you're on the opposite side of this coin. Have more value for yourself. Have more valuable for your bloodline. Have more value for your family. Why are you just laying with somebody and not making sure you got protection? The baby comes. Now you got to figure out what to do. Should have thought that shit out first. So just take ownership for the decisions you make and then make the best decisions from the consequences that follow.
Foxy's
Message.